The book No Man's Land addresses that awkward period of transition when your business is too big to be small, but too small to be big. Author Doug Tatum suggests ways to navigate this treacherous territory and guide your company to the pinnacle of success.
Leading a company through the early stages of growth is an exciting journey of experimentation and innovation. You're driving your baby, your startup, down the road to the big time, and then suddenly everything changes. You start having problems satisfying your customers. The business decisions you're making are becoming too complex to be handled intuitively. And more importantly, your firm's leadership is stuck and feeling stagnant. You're in that dangerous transition between small and big that I call no man's land. Research shows that growing companies often hit this point somewhere between 20 to 100 employees or between, let's say, 10 to 50 million in revenue. So how do you get out of this unforgiving territory? Well, you can turn back, keep your business small, you can sell out to a larger organization, or you can move forward and grow your company into a significant category-defining firm. Getting through no man's land is a lot like finding your way out of the wilderness. You're going to need a map, you need to get to a high place from which you can get some perspective, and you need some navigation rules so you can determine your position on the map as you move forward. All right, let's take a look at the map. To reach your ultimate destination, you must navigate through what I call the 4 M's: the market, management, model, and money. Let's start with market. Growing out of touch with customer needs, or what we refer to as market misalignment, is the most fundamental peril facing firms in no man's land. In most emerging growth companies, the entrepreneur is highly attuned to customer needs and relies on his own unique talents and ideas to deliver on promises. But when the business grows beyond a certain point, the owner is stretched too thin and can't maintain that high touch. Sales stagnate as you fail to focus on those customer relationships that will open the new doors down the road for your business. So here's my navigational rule to get you out of the miserable land of market misalignment. The business as a whole must become good at what you, the owner, did well with customers. To do that, you need to get to a high point for some perspective. What exactly is it that you're good at? In other words, what is your company's core value proposition? Whether it's sales, product innovation, or even targeting new customers, you've got to systematize the delivery of your value proposition. In other words, you must set up processes to replicate the efforts and the talents of you, the original entrepreneur. Developing the systems to achieve and maintain market alignment is hard work, and you can't do it alone. This brings us to our next M on the map: management. By the time you hit no man's land, some of your core management is going to be in over their heads. You need some fresh DNA on your management team. So here's another navigation rule. You must hire at the top first, not the middle. You've got to have senior managers who have worked with larger organizations, people who can make experience-based decisions, and who have the authority to implement new systems. Okay, let's get back to the map. Let's traverse the M zone I call model. Most entrepreneurs attract their first customers by working off a high-performance, cheap labor business model. By the sweat of their brow and with the help of a few dedicated employees, they provide superior products and services at below-market costs. But as the firm gets big, this business model becomes impossible to maintain. The company must begin to pay market wages to a larger staff and adjust to a normalized cost structure for its products or services. How can your firm accommodate these fundamental changes? Here's my navigation rule for the model zone. The business's value proposition must be scalable. In other words, it's profitable at a higher volume. Before you commit to growth, you must step back and consider the following. How can you ensure that the increased revenue will offset the increased costs associated with maintaining that revenue? This equation isn't always as simple as it sounds. A firm must invest in infrastructure in advance of revenue flow, building a bigger pipeline for future volume. By the way, if you're wondering where all this capital investment comes from, that's the fourth M on our map: money. Most companies enter no man's land without enough capital to get out. They simply don't have the resources to service their growing base of customers. But these companies are at a distinct disadvantage because lenders are reluctant to give money to a company that's in the middle of a risky transition. So what can you do? The key to raising capital is reducing the real and perceived risk of your company. To reduce your risk, you've got to successfully navigate the previous 3M zones. When you've realigned with your market and you have the right management in place and you have a model for scaling profitably, lenders will see that your company is well on its way out of no man's land. So if you take care of the 4 M's, you can make it through the perils of no man's land and grow your firm to its full potential. Good luck on your journey through no man's land. I know you can make it, and I hope you enjoy reading my book.